Hey everybody, welcome to Anton Cooks. My name is Anton. This is my first video. I'm a little nervous. I'm excited. First off, I'm very sorry if the camera moves around again. It's my very first time recording anything like this. I've been cooking in this kitchen, this very, very small kitchen, for a very long time, and I hope to get some sort of video up and running. For my first video, I'd like to make I haven't made this one in a very long time. It's my version of a beef rib stew, and I'm going to say my version because I kind of took ideas from traditional beef stew and added some of my flavors to it as well. I am Sri Lankan, Tamil, and my girlfriend is Chinese, so we incorporate both a lot of South Indian and a lot of Chinese ingredients in this as well. I personally love it. My girlfriend likes it as well. Again, I haven't made it in a while, and this is probably wasn't the best idea to start with this recipe because I've only made it twice before, so we'll see how it goes. Let's get started with the ingredients. You can see it here. So I'm going to leave all the ingredients in the description below, but you can see it here. Beef stock, mushrooms, garlic, and I'll show you all the proportions and amounts. Carrots, russet potatoes, beer. Beer is going to be very important, and these are some of the spices I was talking about. Cumin and fennel, as well as let's see there, ginger, and this is just a sprinkle on top. This is cilantro, and the Chinese flavors over here. We have the Hoisin sauce. These are one of my favorites. Let's see if we can get a good picture of this. Probably not. It's sambal olek. It's ground fresh chili paste. It's used in Thai food. And then sriracha and ketchup. Go back. Let me set my camera up, and then we can get started. Yeah, let's do that. Before we start, I got a baking sheet. Well, let me see if I can get a good picture of it. You know what a baking sheet looks like. Baking sheet, and then start the oven at 425 to warm up. I don't know how long it takes. Your oven, mine takes about 45 minutes. It's a very slow oven. So first things first, I'm just gonna peel the carrots and potatoes. You see, I've already peeled 2 of them. There's the last one. You just want to cut them up into bite-sized chunks. I'm just move this over. I don't really care for the end pieces. No, I don't think anybody does. Let me see, I got a garbage plate here. And cut these potatoes. So you're gonna put them on a baking sheet. Just wipe my hands and drizzle them with olive oil. smaller bottle. I wish I had a smaller bottle of olive oil, but unfortunately I don't. So just give them a generous drizzle. Not a big deal if it's clumping up in one side. You're gonna mix them up with your hands anyway. There you go. And just finish it off with some salt and pepper. And this is kosher salt. And sort of spread them out, make sure they're not stacked on top of each other. There we go. Okay. As you can see, my oven, I think I mentioned it early on, my oven is very slow to heat up. Put this aside. I want to show you guys the ribs. See if I can get a good shot of the ribs here. There we go. Already salted and ready to go. I'm just gonna leave them alone for another 20 minutes or so. I have to cut up the rest of the vegetables and make my mix with these, and then we can get started. Alright, let's do the garlic. I love garlic. You can use as much or as little as you want. I like to use the back of glass. These are nice heavy duty cups that I got from IKEA. And will come up just like that. Don't smash them too hard. There's no need. You just give them a gentle tap. They'll fall flat. And then just give them a quick chop, and they'll be fine. I used to use a knife, but I found this much easier. Let's put that over there. Get rid of the carrots here. There you go. Nothing too crazy. Just a very rough chop. Let's put this in a dish. Oh, so nice. All right. Next up, mushrooms. So, I like mushrooms. Not my favorite. My girlfriend likes them, so I always end up putting a lot of mushrooms in here. These are about 3, 6, 9, 10, about 12 mushrooms. All right, just wash them real quick. And I'm not a big fan of the stump, so just toss it. Once the mushrooms are done, there you go. Ooh, mushrooms. Put them aside. Next up, onions. Onions. For about 4 years, my parents had my dad was a chef, so my parents had a little takeout place, and every weekend I'd be there hungover from the night before, and I'd cut at least 20 to 30 onions, 20 to 30 potatoes, just so that they have it ready, because a lot of the Tamil dishes need a lot of onions and potatoes. So I would just have it ready, and that would be my only job. Again, my dad would not let me cook anything until well later on. So the only thing I would be doing is cutting onions and potatoes all day. And there you have it. This is 2 large onions. I'll put that aside. I'm running out of real estate here. Okay, next up, ginger. I love ginger. And let me see here. This is a good one. Yeah, we just cut the ends off. Not a big fan of the end pieces here, and about half of that. So looking at about a 1.5 inch cube cylinder. Put it away. I learned this trick when I was little from my mom. Ginger, teaspoon. Does not work with tablespoon. Probably does, but it's hella annoying. So the skin just comes right off. And always go down, don't go across, just go down. If you get ginger juice in your eye, don't worry about it. It only stings for a little bit. There you have it. Let me cut this dried piece off. I don't like that. All right, now for the sauce that goes on top, very simple. 1/4 cup hoisin, 1/4 cup of the Thai chili, tablespoon sriracha, tablespoon of ketchup. You'll end up with something like this. All right, so this is gonna go in when after the ribs have been seared up. We add the beer to it, and then the beef stock and the sauce. And that's about it. I think that's most of it. Yes. So let's see if I can do this here with one hand. After 15 minutes, you take it out. Sprinkle a little. This is the cumin. I love the cumin seeds whole, just like that. Just sprinkle on top. And this is about maybe 2 tablespoons. And the same thing for the there we go. Some technical difficulties there. Alright, same thing with the fennel. I love the smell of cumin and fennel. My dad used to put it in the mutton curry that he used to make. I would absolutely die for it. So back in the oven. So I'm going to mix it on. I need both hands for this. I'm going to mix it up, then put it back in the oven for another 15. Okay, time to cook the beef ribs. So I use 2 pots, as you can see here. I'm just going to do them face down. Get that nice hard sprinkle. Now after about 30 minutes, the potato should look just like that. Crunchy, smells delicious. Sarah, do you want to come smell this? This is really good. Do you smell it?
Oh, I was smelling the meat.
I'm going to put it back in for another 5. So after about 15 minutes or so, you'll see that the beef has turned a nice dark brown. You can start adding the onions in. And let that cook off for another 5 to 7 minutes. And just make sure the onions are golden brown. So once you got a nice golden brown, it's still a little white on the side, but that should be fine. Most of it is golden brown. The same with this one here. You start adding the 1 can of beer. So if you have a tall boy like this, you add about half of it each. One, and that's 2, and then I got 2 cups of the beef stock. Just stir this around a little bit. Oh, it smells really good. And then you split this 2 cups. Goes here. Ooh, look at that. Close enough. And here. Next up. Oh, I forgot to mention this. The 1/4 cup of Hoisin, 1/4 cup of Thai chili paste, and a teaspoon of ketchup and sriracha. Just double that because I have 2 pots. So I just double that. See if I can do this one-handed. Mix that in there. I'll scrape that later. Let's mix this in here. Oh, it smells so good in here. Ooh. Okay, I gotta scrape this off. Should use my tongue. Kidding! So let it simmer for another 5 minutes, and this is where you can add the garlic and the ginger. So again, just about half. That's good. And the rest in here. I'll scrape that later. And half of the garlic. So this is about 10 to 15 cloves of garlic. There we go. And just give it a good mix. Oh, it smells so good. Now, I'm also going to top this up with water. I'm just letting the water boil up. So I'm just going to get this to, I'm going to add about that much water. So you'll see it in a second here. And then the final piece would be the mushroom, so that's going to be towards the last 10 minutes of it, and then the potatoes and carrots. Alright guys, let me get this out of the way. Gotta add the water to it. So just fill it up till the beef rib is just popping out. So about there, and this one I'll just put out the rest here. There we go. And there. Okay. I use boiling water so it doesn't reduce the temperature that drastically. So just give it a good bath and leave it alone for the next. This is where I just bring it down to about low, medium low. There we go. And just leave it alone for the next hour or so. It'll simmer down, and once that's done, I'll find the pot lid for that. Let's turn this around. So once that's done, we're gonna add the mushrooms. You can see that. Oh, but I just lifted up. Add the mushrooms, and then the potatoes and carrots, and that's it. So I don't know what time it is, baby. What time is it? It's 8:20. I should have started earlier. Probably about 9:30 by the time we're eating. Ooh, that looks good. So it's about a half an hour later. I'm just gonna stir this one up a little bit. So we'll see how the bone is separating. Okay, let's add the mushrooms. Let me see if I can do it one-handed. And then here, and then come on. All right. Oh, that's a nice color. I hope you guys can see this. All right, and. Oh, yeah. I just tasted this. This tastes so good. How am I going to do this one-handed? All right. And here's the finished product. This is about 2-3 hours. It's 11 o'clock. I don't even know when I started, but yeah. And we've already tasted it. It's really, really good. There it goes. Bone almost came clean off. But yeah, I'm gonna eat this and enjoy this.